Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. A gentle soul with a pen that sparked laughter across generations. Hy Eisman didn't just draw cartoons, he brought smiles, created memories, and passed down the joy of storytelling to thousands. With warmth, humor, and endless dedication, he turned beloved characters into treasured icons. He passed away peacefully at 98, leaving behind a life etched with decades of creativity and kindness. For over 70 years, Hy helped shape the golden era of comic art. His crisp storytelling and expressive lines gave new life to classics like Popeye and the Katzenjammer Kids. From Little Lulu to Little Iodine, his hands brought timeless characters back to life for new readers to discover. But Hy's true power wasn't only in his drawings, it was in his spirit. As an educator at the Joe Kubert School for over 4 decades, he mentored countless aspiring artists, always with patience, encouragement, and a deep love for the craft. His talents earned him the respect of the industry. He won National Cartoonist Society awards for his humor and storytelling. In 2020, he was honored with the Milton Caniff Lifetime Achievement Award, recognition of a career spent making people laugh and learn. Colleague and cartoonist Sergio Aragonés once said, "Hy never chased fame, he simply gave his best, and that's what lasted." Off the page, Hy was a devoted father, grandfather, and husband. He found joy in simple things, conversation, laughter, and the music of penciled lines turning into stories. He is survived by his 2 loving daughters. His journey was shaped by love, marked by loss, and defined by a quiet devotion to what he loved most, drawing. Hy Eisman's passing is a moment of pause for a world he helped brighten, but his work lives on, in the Sunday comics, in the hearts of artists who followed him, and in every smile sparked by a witty panel. His art, his teaching, and his generous spirit endure. Tributes to Hy Eisman. Number 6. Ray Barra was a cornerstone of our company's golden age. His artistry and dedication will forever be remembered. Those heartfelt words from the Stuttgart Ballet capture the spirit of a man whose impact on dance spanned generations and continents. Ray Barra passed away peacefully at the age of 95. He leaves behind a remarkable legacy that etched his name into the heart of classical ballet. Born in San Francisco, Barra began dancing young, but it was his passion, not just talent, that carried him around the world. As a principal dancer with the Stuttgart Ballet, he brought unforgettable life to roles like Romeo in Romeo and Juliet and the complex title character of Onegin. His performances were not just admired, they were studied, remembered, and cherished. After a career-altering injury ended his time on stage, Barra didn't step away. Instead, he stepped forward, as a teacher, choreographer, and director. For decades, he guided ballet companies across Europe, including the Berlin State Ballet and the Hamburg Ballet. He choreographed enduring interpretations of classics like Don Quixote, Swan Lake, and Raymonda, leaving a personal mark on each. His leadership as ballet director at the Deutsche Oper Berlin helped shape the future of many young dancers. His commitment to excellence and emotion in every movement continued to inspire long after he left the stage. Colleagues describe him as generous with his time, fierce in his dedication, and deeply kind. His rehearsals were demanding, but he always led with care and honesty. For many, working with Ray wasn't just a job, it was a masterclass in artistry and integrity. Though his passing came peacefully, the loss is profound. The dance world has lost a guiding light, a man who transformed movement into meaning and helped so many others do the same. Ray Barra's story is one of resilience, passion, and beauty. From the studios of San Francisco to the great stages of Europe, he never stopped moving forward and lifting others with him. His influence lives on in every dancer he mentored, every staging of his ballets, and every audience he moved. Tributes to Ray Barra. Number 5. Paul Barnes was a multifaceted contributor to British broadcasting, known for his dynamic presence on both radio and television. Born in Coventry in 1939, Barnes began his professional journey in a photographic shop before transitioning into media, a move that would define his life's work and influence generations of listeners and viewers. His early passion for storytelling and communication led him to a distinguished career across the BBC network, including the World Service and regional programming for the Eastern Counties. A trailblazer, Barnes was the first reporter on Radio 1's Newsbeat, and his voice became a staple of BBC Radio Norfolk. His love for music, especially jazz, radiated through his beloved program, The Late Paul Barnes, which earned him a loyal audience and reflected his deep knowledge and enthusiasm for the genre. On television, Barnes was equally engaging, presenting shows such as The Village Show, Anything Goes, and Folio for ITV. In the 1970s, he appeared on BBC's Parents and Children, showcasing his versatility and ease on screen. His writing and spoken word were often described as colorful and poetic, marked by a love of language and storytelling. Beyond the studio, Paul was a devoted husband to fellow broadcaster Helen McDermott, who remembered him as a perfectionist who lived a full and colorful life. His warm personality and signature sign-off, Pip Pip, became emblematic of his charm and connection with his audience. Paul Barnes passed away at the age of 85 at the Norwich and Norfolk Hospital. His legacy endures in the hearts of his listeners and colleagues, and in the enduring impact he made on British broadcasting. Tributes to Paul Barnes. Number 4. Bob McChesney opened the eyes of a generation of academics, journalists, politicians, and activists to how media structures and policies shape our broader politics and possibilities. These words from Free Press co-CEO Craig Aaron capture the enormous reach and influence of Robert W. McChesney's life and work. A powerful voice in media criticism and reform, McChesney spent over 40 years making sense of how mass communication impacts democracy. His ideas inspired deeper thinking and action across classrooms, radio waves, and grassroots movements. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, McChesney built a career rooted in public service and truth-seeking. He was the author or editor of 27 books, including the influential Rich Media, Poor Democracy, and Digital Disconnect. His works revealed how concentrated media power affects the flow of information through society. As co-founder of Free Press, McChesney helped build a non-profit committed to reforming media systems. His activism sparked national conversations on media ownership, internet freedom, and public broadcasting. At the University of Illinois, where he served as Gutkesell Endowed Professor, McChesney constantly challenged students to think critically and act ethically. Before that, he taught at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and hosted the radio show Media Matters for a decade, using airwaves to bring scholarly ideas to a wider public. Friends and colleagues remember him as fiercely intelligent, endlessly curious, and deeply compassionate. He took complex ideas and broke them down with warmth, passion, and clarity. He didn't just research change, he worked to make it happen. Robert W. McChesney passed away at the age of 72 after a brief illness. Though his voice has gone silent, his writings and teachings will continue to spark discussions, inspire reform, and shape future generations. Everyone who believes in a more democratic media system owes something to his legacy. He made the invisible visible, and gave people tools to demand better. Tributes to Robert W. McChesney. Number 3. His name was a passport to truth. Those words, echoed by a colleague, capture the essence of Shaka Ssali, an unwavering voice in global journalism who made truth his lifelong pursuit. At 72, Shaka passed away peacefully after a brief illness, leaving behind a legacy that spans continents, generations, and hearts. Born in Uganda during turbulent times, Shaka's rise was nothing short of extraordinary. From surviving the threat of child soldier conscription to becoming a trusted international broadcaster, his life embodied courage and purpose. Armed with a doctorate in cross-cultural communication and history from UCLA, he used knowledge as his compass and humanity as his guide. For over 2 decades, Shaka was the face and soul of Voice of America's Straight Talk Africa. Launching the show in 2000, he hosted it until his retirement in 2023. Week after week, he brought African issues to global screens, asking bold questions, offering space for dialogue, and forging connections between leaders and citizens. His approach combined clarity, wit, and an unmatched respect for every voice. Shaka's impact wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. He made guests feel heard, viewers feel seen, and storytellers feel valued. Whether speaking with a president or a local activist, he treated everyone with dignity. His signature phrase, "You are most welcome," wasn't just politeness, it was philosophy. The accolades came gradually but meaningfully. His honors included a United Nations Peacekeeping Special Achievement Award in International Journalism and a Ford Foundation Fellowship. Yet he never focused on titles. His goal was always to serve, to inform, connect, and challenge systems with honesty and grace. Wave after wave of tributes have poured in from across the globe. Journalists, politicians, students, and viewers alike remember him not only as a brilliant broadcaster but as a generous mentor and a kind soul. He inspired the continent to speak up and speak out, wrote one former colleague. That will remain his legacy. Shaka Ssali's journey reminds us all of the power of storytelling and the strength found in truth. From Kabale to Washington, from radio to the web, his voice carried hope, wisdom, and unity. Tributes to Shaka Ssali. Number 2, her presence changed everything. Not just the game on the field, but the future of women's football. Those words, shared by DFB President Bernd Neuendorf, speak to the enormous impact Doris Fitschen made over her lifetime. Doris passed away at the age of 56 following a courageous battle with cancer, leaving behind a legacy that transformed the sport she loved. Known for her commanding performances and strategic style, she was often called the female Beckenbauer, leading with grace and strength. Born in Zeven, Germany, she rose through the ranks to become one of the most respected figures in football. Doris played 144 times for the German national team. She won 4 European Championship titles and earned a bronze medal at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Her career on the pitch included club successes with TSV Siegen and 1 FFC Frankfurt, where she secured numerous league and cup titles. In 2001, she crossed the Atlantic to play in the US-based WUSA League, representing Philadelphia Charge and helping blaze a trail for future generations of European players abroad. But her legacy didn't end on the field. After retiring from playing, Doris became a leader off it, shaping the next era of women's football. Serving as the general manager of the German women's national team, she oversaw 2 European Championship wins and Olympic gold. Most recently, she led the DFB's Women in Football FF27 strategy, working tirelessly to secure lasting support for female athletes. She was awarded the Silver Laurel Leaf and inducted into the German Sports Hall of Fame. Yet her greatest achievement was perhaps the path she cleared for others. Her voice carried weight, her leadership inspired change, and her vision continues to guide the sport today. She showed us that football is more than a game, it's a movement, said DFB Vice President Sabine Memich. Doris is survived by her partner and child, and by a global football community forever changed by her strength, wisdom, and kindness. Though gone too soon, her life remains a beacon for future players, managers, and dreamers who believe in equal footing on the field. Tributes to Doris Fitschen. What's trending on the internet? News 1. A family fishing trip in South Africa took a tragic turn when 7-year-old Johandre Blom was attacked by a crocodile, resulting in the loss of his left arm. The incident occurred on March 21st at the Emanzini fishing resort near the Crocodile River. Johandre had been playing in shallow water with a friend when the crocodile suddenly struck. Hearing the children's screams, both fathers rushed to help. Johandre's dad bravely jumped into the water and pulled him free, but not before the crocodile had caused severe injuries. Quick thinking and love in action, the fathers wrapped Johandre's wounds in towels and rushed him toward medical help. He was soon met by emergency responders and airlifted to a hospital in Alberton, where he remains in a medically induced coma. Doctors continue to monitor his condition as he begins a long journey toward recovery. Support for the young boy and his family has poured in. A fundraiser set up through Baka Buddy has already raised more than $11,000 to help cover the medical costs and future rehabilitation needs. The family is overwhelmed by the kindness shown by strangers and loved ones alike. While the incident is deeply heartbreaking, Johandre's courage and the community's compassion have sparked hope. His story is now inspiring a conversation about safety awareness and the incredible strength of the human spirit. News 2. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck near Mandalay, Myanmar early Friday, shaking the ground as far as 800 miles away in Bangkok. The tremor, one of the strongest in recent memory, caused widespread damage and significant concern across the region. 2 cities in Myanmar were hit especially hard, with emergency teams seen pulling people from collapsed buildings in the capital, Naypyidaw. In Bangkok, authorities confirmed fatalities at multiple construction sites. The earthquake occurred along the Sagaing Fault, a major geological feature known for seismic activity. Experts say its shallow depth near the surface intensified its impact. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, nearly 800,000 people may have experienced extreme shaking. Earthquakes happen when tectonic plates, massive slabs of Earth's crust, grind against one another, building pressure over time. When this pressure releases suddenly, it can trigger strong ground movement. Myanmar sits on an active fault line, making it prone to such events. Scientists say while predicting the exact time of an earthquake remains impossible, they can identify regions at risk. After major quakes, smaller tremors called aftershocks often follow. Myanmar can expect these for weeks or even months. Authorities urge people in earthquake-prone regions to be prepared. If indoors, drop cover and hold on. Stay away from windows and avoid elevators. If outside, find an open area away from buildings and power lines. As Myanmar begins recovery efforts, communities across Southeast Asia are sending support and staying alert. Preparedness and awareness remain key to safety in seismic zones. News 3. After nearly 5 decades of unanswered questions, a New York family is finding a measure of peace. The remains of 13-year-old Laura O'Malley, who disappeared in 1975, have been positively identified in Santa Cruz, California, bringing long-awaited closure. Laura, who went missing from her Queens home, had not been heard from since the summer of that year. In 1995, partial skeletal remains were found near a riverbed in Santa Cruz. For years they remained unidentified, until the case was reopened in 2019. Thanks to forensic DNA analysis by Othram and the tireless efforts of genealogist Deborah Medina, The remains were confirmed as O'Malley's. Authorities say the cause of Laura's death and how she arrived in California remain under investigation. Despite these lingering questions, her family is grateful to have some resolution. "We're thankful to help bring a small piece of closure that they might never have received otherwise," said Ashley Keene, a public information officer for the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office. Investigators hope the renewed attention will spark memories. Anyone who might have seen Laura in California or New York is encouraged to come forward. This case stands as a powerful reminder of how persistence, modern technology, and community support can bring light to even the longest unsolved mysteries. As the search for answers continues, Laura's story will now be remembered, not just as a mystery, but as one that brought people together in pursuit of truth and peace. News 4. A pilot is recovering in serious but stable condition after his aerobatic plane crashed during a performance at the Australian International Air Show on March 28. The incident occurred in front of a shocked crowd at Avalon Airport, southwest of Melbourne, during the event's first public day. According to officials, the aircraft, part of the Paul Bennett aerobatics team, was executing a maneuver when it lost control and struck the tarmac just after 5:15 p.m. local time. Emergency services responded immediately, and the pilot, the sole occupant, was airlifted to the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne with upper and lower body injuries. In a statement, airshow organizers confirmed that no spectators were harmed as the incident occurred away from the viewing area. "Our thoughts are with the pilot and his family, friends, and team members," they said. The remainder of Friday's show was suspended to allow safety investigators full access to the site. Despite the frightening moment, the crowd erupted in applause upon hearing the pilot had survived. Spectators described the crash as sudden and alarming, but praised the fast response from emergency crews. "We were all holding our breath," said one attendee. The AMDA Foundation, which organizes the event, confirmed that the air show is expected to resume Saturday, pending safety clearance. The pilot's resilience and the swift action of responders turned what could have been a tragedy into a moment of hope and community support. News 5. Authorities in Elgin, Illinois have confirmed that a car pulled from the Fox River earlier this week belonged to Karen Scheepers, a woman missing since 1983. The discovery brings renewed attention to a case that has remained unsolved for over 4 decades. Scheepers, then 23, vanished after a night out with co-workers. Her yellow 1980 Toyota Celica was recovered on March 25, and skeletal remains were found inside. Shockingly, a local resident had detected the vehicle using sonar while fishing nearly 3 years earlier and reported it to authorities. At the time, a diver identified a submerged tire but mistakenly believed it belonged to an off-road vehicle. No follow-up investigation occurred. Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally expressed disappointment over the oversight, but commended the teamwork that eventually led to the car's recovery. Fire Chief Rob Kagan has since issued a public apology, acknowledging that more should have been done in 2022. The fire department has since updated its protocols and technology to avoid similar missteps in future operations. Chief Lally emphasized her department's commitment to seeking justice for Karen and her family. "While we are disappointed by the initial oversight, I am incredibly proud of the extraordinary collaborative efforts that have unfolded in recent days," she said. Authorities are now continuing to investigate how Scheepers' car ended up in the river and what may have led to her death, while also asking the public for any additional information. News 6. The Decatur, Georgia community is mourning the loss of a beloved local figure, Henry France Jr., whose unexpected passing led to a stunning discovery. France, 74, was known for his music with the Atlanta Pipe Band and his love of scuba diving. Sadly, he passed away during a diving trip in Hawaii on March 10. Just days later, France's family made a startling find while visiting his property in Decatur. Inside a backyard treehouse that had been largely unused for years, they discovered skeletal remains. Authorities believe the remains may belong to France's son, Henry Doyle Colin France, who was reported missing in 2021 at the age of 28. "We are pretty certain we have his identity," said Chief Deputy Investigator Jess Dillard. The remains were skeletonized. No obvious signs of injury or trauma. Officials are awaiting dental or DNA confirmation, but foul play is not suspected. France's daughter told local outlet Decatorish that the family rarely visited the treehouse and many relatives had moved away. The news, while tragic, may offer long-awaited answers about her brother's disappearance. The Atlanta Pipe Band shared a heartfelt tribute to France, praising his decades of dedication, mentorship, and passion for life. "He will be deeply missed but never forgotten," they wrote. In the midst of heartbreak, the France family now holds on to the comfort of resolution and the memory of a man who touched many lives with his music and spirit. News 7. Colin Egglesfield is opening up about a deeply personal journey, hoping to inspire others to prioritize their health. The actor, best known for his roles on All My Children and Melrose Place, recently shared how he secretly battled cancer while continuing to work on set, and why he now encourages early detection for everyone. Diagnosed with testicular cancer at age 32, Egglesfield kept his illness private, even as he underwent surgery and radiation. He recalled feeling weak and sweaty while filming but feared others would misinterpret it as a result of partying. "It's guy stuff," he said, explaining why he stayed quiet. But eventually, the pressure became too much. "I just broke down," he admitted on the Melrose Minute podcast. "My director told me, 'You should have told us.'" Now 52 and a three-time cancer survivor, Egglesfield says his openness is meant to help others feel less alone. Earlier this year, he underwent treatment for prostate cancer, discovered through routine PSA testing. "I'm just so grateful that I'm here to talk about this," he shared. Egglesfield's message is clear. Take your health seriously. "If you haven't seen your doctor in a while, get checked out," he said. "Early detection can make all the difference." Through honesty and resilience, Egglesfield is not only surviving, he's inspiring others to live stronger, healthier lives. Number 1. I learned with deep sorrow the news that our national athlete, Berkin Usta, passed away in a fire that occurred in Bursa. These words from Turkey's sports minister echoed the heartbreak of a nation mourning a rising star. Berkin Usta, just 25, lived a life marked by courage, talent, and purpose. As one of Turkey's brightest Olympic hopes in alpine skiing, he brought visibility to a sport often overlooked in his homeland. His racing spirit and national pride ignited inspiration in countless young athletes dreaming of winter victories on snowy peaks. A defining moment came when he competed in the men's giant slalom at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Standing on that global stage, the Turkish flag on his uniform, Berkin showed that greatness knows no geographic boundaries. His performance wasn't just about speed, it was about heart and belief. Though his career started early and rose quickly, his impact stretched beyond competitive times. Teammates admired his humility, coaches praised his discipline, and fans felt connected to his quiet determination. In a country where winter sports are still growing, Berkin became a symbol of what's possible. His promising journey was sadly cut short in a hotel fire at a ski resort in Uludağ, Bursa. The tragic incident also claimed the life of his father, Hy Usta, a former national athlete himself. The sudden loss stunned the sports world and left a deep void. Many turned to social media to grieve and celebrate his life. Messages of love, gratitude, and shock poured in. Though he left us far too soon, Berkin's story continues as a legacy of ambition, pride, and breakthrough. He is survived by his mother, Fikriye, whom he cherished deeply. Her status following the fire remains uncertain, adding another layer of sorrow to this tragic event. From the slopes of Turkey to the Olympic stage, Berkin Usta made sure he left a mark. Quietly, powerfully, and with unwavering grace. Tributes to Berkin Usta. It wasn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It was about saying something that mattered. That's how a longtime colleague once described Dick Carlson.